When installing an electrical conduit under a driveway of a one or two family dwelling, it's crucial to adhere to the National Electrical Code, specifically concerning burial depths. The primary consideration isn't the thickness of the concrete slab itself, but rather the type of location. In this instance, the location is a residential driveway serving a one or two family dwelling. The NEC provides different requirements for various locations, including residential driveways and areas subject to vehicular traffic. For one and two family dwellings, the applicable location is the one and two family dwelling location. This refers to the type of property the driveway serves, not the materials used in its construction. Therefore, regardless of whether the driveway is concrete, asphalt, or gravel, and regardless of the thickness of the concrete, if it's serving a one or two family dwelling, the one and two family dwelling location burial depths apply. Now let's delve into the specific requirements as per the NEC. While I don't have access to specific real-time NEC table references without being given which table, it generally stipulates different minimum burial depths for different wiring methods and applications. PVC conduit, commonly used for underground electrical installations, typically has a specific minimum burial depth requirement when installed under a driveway serving a one or two family dwelling. This depth is typically less stringent than the requirements for locations subject to heavier vehicular traffic, such as commercial parking lots or public roadways. For instance, if direct burial cables are used, the depths are significantly greater for general-purpose use compared to residential one and two family use. Similarly, electrical metallic tubing, or IMP, has different rules for burial depths compared to rigid metal conduit, or RMC. The reasoning behind these differing depths is based on the anticipated load and potential for damage. Residential driveways are generally subjected to lighter vehicular traffic compared to commercial or public roadways. Consequently, the NEC allows for shallow burial depths in residential settings, striking a balance between safety and practicality. However, it is paramount to emphasize that you always should consult the latest edition of the NEC and any local amendments to determine the exact required burial depth for PVC conduit under a driveway serving a one or two family dwelling in your specific location. Local jurisdictions may have adopted stricter requirements than those outlined in the NEC. Additionally, the type of circuit running through the conduit can influence the required depth. For example, circuits operating at higher voltages may necessitate deeper burial depths. Furthermore, proper installation practices are essential to ensure the long-term integrity and safety of the electrical system. This includes ensuring that the conduit is properly supported and protected from physical damage during and after installation. Backfilling the trench with appropriate materials, such as sand or gravel, can help to prevent damage to the conduit from rocks or other debris. Compacting the backfill material also helps to provide a stable base for the driveway surface. In addition to burial depth requirements, the NEC also addresses other considerations for underground electrical installations, such as the type of conduit that is suitable for direct burial, the spacing between conduits, and the grounding requirements. It's important to carefully review all of these requirements to ensure that the installation is compliant with the NEC and any local regulations. Now, let's address the contractor's assertion that the 4-inch concrete slab dictates the burial depth. While the concrete slab provides a degree of physical protection for the conduit, it does not override the NEC requirements for minimum burial depth based on location. The NEC requirements are predicated on the assumption that the driveway surface may be subject to movement, cracking, or other damage over time. Therefore, even with the concrete slab in place, the conduit must still be buried at the minimum depth specified for a one or two family dwelling driveway to provide adequate protection against potential damage from vehicular traffic and other factors. In summary, when installing electrical conduit under a driveway serving a one or two family dwelling, the one and two family dwelling location requirements prevail, irrespective of the concrete slab thickness. Consult the latest edition of the NEC and any local amendments to ascertain the precise required burial depth for PVC conduit in your area. Always prioritize safety and compliance with electrical codes to ensure secure and reliable electrical installation. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it's always best to consult with a qualified electrician if you have any doubts or concerns. Improperly installed electrical systems can pose a serious risk of fire, electric shock, and other hazards. Therefore, it is crucial to adhere to all applicable codes and regulations and to use qualified personnel for all electrical work. Let's examine some hypothetical scenarios to further illustrate the importance of adhering to the NEC guidelines. Firstly, imagine a scenario where the conduit is buried only 2 inches below the concrete slab. Over time, the concrete develops cracks due to freeze-thaw cycles or heavy vehicle traffic. These cracks could potentially expose the conduit to direct contact with vehicular tires or other sharp objects, leading to damage and potential electrical hazards. Secondly, consider a situation where the conduit is buried at the correct depth but is not properly supported. The weight of the vehicles passing over the driveway could cause the conduit to sag or deform, potentially compromising the integrity of the electrical conductors inside. Thirdly, suppose the conduit is buried at the correct depth, but the backfill material is not properly compacted. Over time, the backfill could settle, creating voids around the conduit. These voids could allow water to accumulate, potentially leading to corrosion of the conduit or the electrical conductors inside. To prevent these potential problems, it's essential to adhere to the NEC guidelines for burial depth, conduit support, backfill material, and compaction. Additionally, regular inspections of the electrical system can help to identify and address any potential issues before they become major problems. During these inspections, it's important to check for signs of damage to the conduit, such as cracks, dents, or corrosion. It's also important to check for signs of water intrusion or other environmental factors that could potentially compromise the integrity of the electrical system. If any problems are detected, it's essential to take prompt action to repair them. This may involve replacing damaged conduit sections, recompacting the backfill material, or addressing any water intrusion issues. By taking these proactive steps, you can help to ensure the long-term safety and reliability of the electrical system. Now, let's consider some additional factors that can influence the required burial depth for electrical conduit. One factor is the type of soil in which the conduit is buried. In areas with rocky or abrasive soils, it may be necessary to bury the conduit at a greater depth to protect it from physical damage. Another factor is the presence of underground utilities, such as water pipes or gas lines. It's important to locate these utilities before digging to avoid damaging them. If the conduit must be installed near an existing utility, it may be necessary to take additional precautions to protect both the conduit and the utility. These precautions may include using a tracer wire to help locate the conduit in the future or installing a protective barrier between the conduit and the utility. Another factor to consider is the potential for future excavation in the area. If there is a possibility that the driveway may be excavated in the future for repairs or other purposes, it's important to bury the conduit at a depth that will protect it from damage during excavation. This may involve burying the conduit at a greater depth or using a more robust type of conduit that is less susceptible to damage. In addition to these factors, it's also important to consider any local requirements or regulations that may apply to underground electrical installations. Some jurisdictions may have stricter requirements than those outlined in the NEC. It's important to check with the local authorities to ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and regulations. Finally, it's important to remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it's always best to consult with a qualified electrician if you have any doubts or concerns. Improperly installed electrical systems can pose a serious risk of fire, electric shock, and other hazards. Therefore, it is crucial to adhere to all applicable codes and regulations and to use qualified personnel for all electrical work. So, to recap, for a 1 or 2 family dwelling driveway with a 4-inch concrete slab and PVC conduit crossing underneath, the 1 and 2 family dwelling location requirements of the NEC apply for determining the minimum burial depth. Concrete thickness does not supersede those requirements. Always consult the latest NEC and local codes considering soil type, existing utilities, potential for future excavation, and any local requirements, prioritizing safety and compliance for a reliable electrical installation. It's beneficial to add tracer wire for future location purposes as well. Remember that various types of equipment may have different burial depth requirements, and these factors must be considered in an electrical installation as well. For example, low-voltage landscape lighting cables and conductors will not require the same burial depths as higher-voltage wiring methods. Always verify the product listings, certifications, installation instructions, and local codes to ensure a safe electrical installation. Remember that even though the concrete slab will add an additional layer of protection, the NEC does not take it into account as a substitute for the minimum burial depth. In some cases, it may be beneficial to use Schedule 80 PVC conduit instead of Schedule 40 for added physical protection for the conductors. If you are installing electrical equipment such as landscape lighting, always follow the manufacturer's installation instructions and comply with all applicable codes and standards. It is recommended that you engage a licensed electrical contractor for the electrical work in your dwelling to ensure the work is installed properly and safely. The licensed contractor will be familiar with local codes and the latest edition of the NEC. Furthermore, electrical inspectors will verify the work is in compliance with the minimum safety standards. Do not take electrical safety lightly, as it can be very dangerous for someone untrained. In addition, always de-energize the circuit you are working on. Use your meter to ensure the power is off before touching any wires. Consider double-checking with your meter after de-energizing the equipment that you are working on. Remember to follow proper lockout-tagout procedures. For personal protection equipment, or PPE, wear safety glasses and gloves. Also be aware of your surroundings to prevent trips and falls and other hazards. Maintaining a safe work environment is important for all workers. When the project is completed, be sure to document any changes to the electrical system on the panel directory to properly identify the electrical circuits. Be sure to use a legible marker and take your time writing the new labels. The panel directory must be accurate for safety and troubleshooting purposes in the future. After the project is complete, verify proper operation of the electrical equipment and circuits. If you have any questions, consult a qualified electrician for assistance.